It's football season, so I'm told, when large gentlemen are tossing around the old pigskin, but I don't want to talk anymore about this because this brings up traumatic issues from my past. So instead, I'm just going to use that to transition into the theme of what we're going to do today. The project that we are embarking on today, this is the first ever SPC Comics Draft. That's right. This is literally the nerdiest thing that can be done. It combines fantasy sports draft, but it makes it way nerdier because we're going to do it with comics. And we're going to, well, I'll detail this more a little bit. First, I should, of course, bring in our draftees. First, my co-host here on Second Print Comics, my partner in comic book crime, the rambunctious one himself, Remso Martinez, and whoever has noises on their computer, please make them stop. I know we're not all pros here. Remso, welcome back.
Mark, it has been too long. I am so happy to have you back. The listeners hated me. They were mean, abusive, condescending, threatening. And frankly, I need you to help deflect some of that. So I'm so thankful you're back, especially for today's episode.
I do appreciate you valiantly stepping in. But I did, I feel rested now. I feel refreshed. I feel ready to man the helm of this gigantic project that we're going to undertake today. And when we were talking about who deserved to come on and be part of this experiment, who should be our fellow draftees, it took us about 45 minutes after we eliminated every other possibility, but we eventually decided to bring on our two highest tier patrons from the Second Print Comics Patreon, which you can find at patreon.com/secondprintpod. We don't have the website anymore. We have the Substack, so check that out. But in no particular order, Eric, welcome. Kirby Club level patron Eric, as well as
great.
The Greek himself, Jeffrey. Welcome back.
Hello.
No, I gave them nicknames. We got that's Eric the Great and Big Pimpin' Jeffrey.
Okay.
We gotta roll with it. We gotta be uniform with that.
So what do you guys think? Are you excited to embark on literally have any of you told your significant others or any other family about this, or are you trying to keep it kind of on the down low?
How's the judgment?
I tried to keep it on the down low, but I couldn't help it. I think everyone in town knows.
You could. Well, in our town, we grew up in the same town. It's quite possible everyone does know because there's not a lot going on. So if word about anything got out.
Yeah, I just put up a billboard.
Comic drafting. All right. Well, that being said, I'm excited because, frankly, I need some distractions. And as I was saying before the show, yes, Remso?
We have to go ahead and ask the big question. Mark, have you had your coffee today?
I did have my coffee, and that's why I'm still wide awake here at 7:20, which I feel so old because now that you young chaps, now we're all, Remso's the only super young chap here. You probably are still wide awake at like 10 or 11 p.m., as I now am because I've sort of adjusted my sleep schedule in the last few weeks with the help of the fine coffee from my friend Stephen Fox and his fantastic company, Fox & Sons, foxandsons.com. You see, I can just roll right into the promo like I never missed a beat. But that's because I am wide awake for my Fox & Sons, and I genuinely love this coffee. I used to be one of those people, I'm sorry, and this time of year, even worse, I used to go get the pumpkin spice lattes. And I'm not going to say I'm not going to crack and maybe get one or two over the course of the next few months, but most of the time, I'm going to stay home and pour myself a cup of Fox & Sons. Head over to foxandsons.com. You want to get yourself any bean you choose. There's a whole variety. A lot of variety. A lot of weird ones that I don't even know how they get made, but I tell you what, they're delicious because I've pretty much tried them all at this point. So you want to use that discount code. What is it, Remso? Second Print Pod.
Second Print Pod for 50% off your order of $25 or more.
So go do it. That's it. He pays us, and we say good things, but they're true things. So that's an ad. There you go. What do you think? After a few weeks off, you still got it? All right. I hope that works for you, Stephen. But that being said, we are now going to embark on, as I mentioned, the nerdiest thing that's ever happened in the history of the world. Certainly, probably in our lives. And that's coming from the four of us. So it's pretty fucking nerdy. But the premise is we're going to build a comic company in the style of like a fantasy sports draft. So we have several positions to fill. And the idea is at the end of this, and by the end of this, I mean on another podcast we do probably in November, we are going to unveil our lineup of comics that we're going to be distributing through our new comic company. But first, we have to build that company. So what we're going to be drafting are writers, artists, and characters. And similar to a fantasy draft, you can draft in any order. You can draft you could draft 6 writers in a row. You could draft 6 artists in a row, 8 characters in a row, whatever you want to do. Or you can, it's entirely up to you. It's entirely up to how you value or how you think your fellow draftees are going to value certain creators, certain characters, and that sort of thing. But the idea is that we're building a business. So you want to keep this sort of thing in mind. So you're obviously going to want marquee characters. You're going to want writers that can carry some big titles, this sort of thing. So at the end of this thing, we will unveil all of our lineups, characters, what odd concoctions we have come up with of the various writers, artists, and what have you. And available to draft, just to go through the rules a little bit, we have 6 spots to fill. Let's see. I think we're going to do 24 rounds total today. And if we need to do more, we may do more offline. But essentially, we have 6 writer spots to fill, 6 artist spots to fill, and 12 character spots to fill. So I'm going to be keeping track of this. Maybe I'll even share the grid on the screen once in a while just to update for those watching on the YouTube, which I highly recommend, especially for stuff like this, because you'll be able to visually keep track of our teams as we go. And so we'll finish today with completed comic book companies, or at least the core of those companies. And then we'll take a break. We'll dive into our Spooktober, our horror-themed month coming up, and we will return after all that is over. If we've survived the spookiness of Halloween, and we will unveil our teams, and perhaps we'll have the second print patrons vote. Maybe we'll come up with a prize of some kind. Maybe Stephen Fox will send us even more coffee if he hasn't sent us enough already. Let's see. That being said, any questions, gentlemen? We did talk a bit before the show. Any last things we want to sort out so we can, for the public record, we can all say that we are on the same page?
Let's get to it.
You know what? I did want to clarify too, just as far as who you can draft, I think we discussed this. You can draft anyone you could theoretically draft in real life. So essentially anyone alive, anyone who's worked in comics alive, as far as characters go, any character. I don't care if Marvel just killed them like that because comics rules, deaths don't stick. You can draft any comics character that's ever existed in any comic company whatsoever. So you have total free reign here. You just can't draft dead people. We did Choi with a legend concept. Maybe we'll do a fun round at the end, just doing that if we feel like it. But we're going to stick to alive people for now. And then we will let the listeners judge who has built the most realistic business out of this whole thing. And we're going to save our team names for after we build the company, just so we can kind of maybe name them thematically. But we did, from our friends at random.org, not by me. Coincidentally, I did end up with the first draft pick. There were no objections to the system. This is a snake draft, though.
So done by Dominion? Was it a Dominion product?
Yes, Dominion, sponsored by Dominion Randomization Services. DRS, one of my favorite companies. Drink your Fox and Sons, go over to DRS, randomize your orders. Your life's going to be going really good. So it's going to be me first, and then Remso second, and then Eric third, and then Jeffrey. I laid out the grid this way. This is for my own ease, and Jeffrey fourth. But because this is a snake draft, Jeffrey will get 2 picks in a row. So then Jeffrey will go again, then Eric, then Remso, then me, and then back and forth 24 times until we have completed our rosters. And then we're going to let everyone's imaginations can go wild when they can see the possibilities that we might put together. But that being said, and to indicate that it is your turn to draft, you'll hear the following sound. So you know it's someone's turn anyway.
Oh, that's fancy.
Sure it is. It's fine. SPC Comics Draft. Man, I've really been I don't like the first. I traditionally do not like the first draft pick because I like to see where other people are going a little bit, and I don't like having to wait a long time. So this is not just me sort of trying to make it seem like I didn't rig it for the first pick or anything. Because
that's okay, Putin. Do your thing.
I've been conflicted down to the last moment here. But at the end of the day, I think a flagship company needs a flagship property, needs a flagship character. You need some big ass IP because we're building a business here. So while writers and artists may come and go, I got to own some flagship characters. So I'm going to start off with, and there's there's probably 3 or 4 flagship characters to me that could be drafted if you're going with a character first, as I've decided to do. So in the end, I'm just going to go with the one that I just like the most. That is my favorite character in the superhero genre. My number 1 draft pick is the Dark Knight himself, Batman.
Yep, fucker.
Really? Okay. I'm glad that upsets people because that's the only reason I drafted him. I didn't want to draft a character first, but I was afraid that at the first
You
spot,
just wanted him off the board.
I was afraid I wouldn't be getting him if I wouldn't be getting any of my marquee characters right now if I got to wait 8 picks. So there we are. And we can talk about these, but I think I pretty much explained my explained my pick there already. You know, there's a reason DC puts out 20 Batman books a month. It's because Batman books sell, and we're here to make money, kids. So there we go, rock and roll. Oh, you know what would be fun to have it when we do our unveiling of the companies if we also make a movie out of like one of our properties. So we can draft should we draft directors and actors, or is this adding?
That's part two.
All right, maybe next year. Anyway, next up, I think I'm quickly going to get sick of playing this little jingle. So, but
It's only
Remso,
96 times.
it is your turn to draft.
Okay, so I had to, and just to reiterate, I can choose between writers, artists, and characters. We're not picking with one character. Okay,
Exactly.
We all know who the first one is for you, Remso. We already know.
Pick anybody you want.
Riri Williams. No, I'm joking.
Williams.
No, I had a
rule. If you say it,
methodology.
it's true. If you say it, it happens. So,
So I have a methodology between mine in terms of which category do I value more, because I think I can work with very little, because I think I knew Mark was going to go for characters first. I pretty much know.
I didn't want to either. I just, especially at the first spot, I felt like there's no choice.
I remember the X-Men draft. I'm still traumatized from that whole experience, which is why we don't allow women on the show anymore. But
we don't allow, or they just aren't around.
We don't allow. Yeah, they just don't come. So I will spoil this for myself, because I want people to be surprised later. I'm prioritizing writers, then artists, then characters. So I'm going to go ahead and pick my writer first. This is the guy who brought me really seriously hard back into comics. He got so much of my money in early 2020. I am drafting the king, Matt Kind.
Wow. A first pick. Okay. I wasn't expecting that. Well, what books brought you to him? What did he bring you to?
Exo Manowar. That book alone reinstalled this faith and hope that comic books, especially the superhero genre, can be good again. I had been collecting all my, typical go-tos for years, but that was the first series where I was like, I bought volume 1 and immediately went back to my store the next day, bought like $100 worth of the rest of his first volume for Valiant Entertainment. From there, I got sucked into the Valiant universe. People, longtime listeners will remember that Exo Man of War was one of the first, 10 out of 10 comics that we gave at the beginning of 2021. That was such a hardcore book, and that is why I fell in love with Ninjak and The Immortal Warrior and Bloodshot. Matt Kind freaking did it for me.
Well, Paul, who's watching as he's part of the Second Print Comics Patreon, who gets to see this live, he has a comment. Beautiful pick, Remso. So there you go. You got a fan. You got a fan out there.
He's the only other person out there that knows who Matt Kent is.
All right. Well, I was going to say,
Keanu Reeves knows who's
I think it's a
Keanu Reeves knows who Matt Kent is.
Deep pick.
Great writer, but I think he could have got him in the later rounds. That's all I'm saying. But at the end of the day, in a draft like this, if you go on a guy bad enough, you got to take him, because you never know what's going to happen. So, all right. You ready, Eric? It's up to you. Oh, sorry, I didn't play the jingle. So, hold on. There you go. Now you know
what I was waiting for. So I'm in the same school of thought as Mark. You need core characters to kind of build around. So my first pick is going to be Spider-Man. Peter Parker Spider-Man, not Ben Reilly.
Yes, and I should clarify too. Ben Reilly's kind of a tricky case. I guess technically you could draft him separately. A character is a character. So if you draft Spider-Man, you draft Spider-Man. You didn't draft Miles Morales. You didn't draft anyone who's so I'm glad you clarified Peter Parker. And I'm even going to put that on the board here. So for example, if I draft, I'm trying to think of somebody who's there. Who are there 20 versions of? If I draft Blue Beetle,
Green Lantern,
I have to state, am I drafting Green Lantern? That's a good one. If I draft Green Lantern Guy Gardner, I just have Green Lantern Guy Gardner. I don't have. So yeah, that's a rule that we will go with going forward. All right. You want to elaborate? I don't think there's much to say. Spider-Man's pretty well known.
Just a marquee character whose books sell. He's in book sales, he's probably the Marvel equivalent of Batman.
And why did you go with the white version of Spider-Man? Is that due to inherent
he's just the one I grew up. He's the one that I grew up with. He has the most backstory. So no inherent biases.
That conversation. All right. Moving on to team number 4, as we'll call it for now. Jeffrey G, the Greek himself. You're up. That's the Jeffrey.
All right. So I'm sort of surprised he didn't get snapped up right away. In terms of artists, you might as well go with the best in the business, Alex Ross.
Oof. That's interesting.
Nice.
The question, I thought about Alex Ross early too, but the question is, can he do a monthly book? Maybe, maybe not. Probably not, but that's up to you to do. But maybe just having maybe he does the covers of every book, and that there's so much value in that, because I'm buying those covers. Eric's buying those covers. Remso, I don't know.
Yeah, monthly books are a thing of the past. The future is all quarterly.
All right, I like it. Yeah, we can factor, because all of that part, our strategy, how we're going to put, like, we could be like Eric July. We could produce one book every 4 months that you pay $40 for if we want. We can do whatever we want. So that is all right. Well, guess what? It's your pick again, Jeffrey.
All right. Let me think here. Well, might as well go ahead and fire the bullet. I'll take Superman. Clark Kent, Superman. Kal-El, Superman. That Superman.
Clark Kent. All right. Again, I think it's pretty straightforward here.
Yeah.
Marquee character.
I'm a simple man.
All right, I'm just going to update this sheet. That being said, we're going backwards now in the snake, which means I'm going to get sick of this really, really soon. Eric, it's up to you.
So I'm going with another popular Marvel character, maybe second most popular Marvel character, maybe third, not sure. Going with Wolverine.
Oof.
Which one?
Logan.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
X, I'm going to put X-23 for now.
Do not put X-23. No, thank you.
All right, the man called Logan, we'll say.
The man called Logan. Regular man Logan.
Now here's a question. I don't even know the answer. We can discuss stuff like this ourselves. You just drafted Wolverine. So in theory, could I draft Old Man Logan, or do we say that's the same character?
Same character.
I would say same character.
I don't know.
I would say separate character. Alternate Earth, separate titles.
They've fought each other. They've existed
timelines.
Together.
I would argue that Old Man Logan.
I'm not going to draft him next, so don't worry. But this might matter.
If you know what Earth he comes from, then sure.
This is like the mimic thing all over again, Mark.
Seems like that's getting pretty far into the weeds.
I already feel like we're going to need lawyers by the end of this thing.
Whole teams are just completely like eliminated from this thing.
I'm going to call Rico podcast lawyer. Right, that's a deep cut. All right. Continuing on. Mr. Remso. Hold on. I know you're waiting for the sound. There it is. Calm down.
I'm calling for the Aaron Rodgers of the comic book industry. He is great, except when he goes to play for the New York Jets. I am drafting Chip Zdarsky.
Oof! Look at this guy firing off with the modern writers. Oof. All right, explain. I want you to explain your overall strategy for again why you're going with these writers before you're even sniffing a character.
I think characters. I could go ahead and fight for characters all day, but the truth is that you can have a great character. And then if you bring somebody who's a shit writer or worse, a bad artist, it doesn't matter how good those characters are, they will be absolute shit. So I want to make sure that I have reliable people who are quality, who have a record of excellence, who are not woke, and can actually deliver something that is going to be remembered. And I'm going for the modern writers because and maybe some later will be not so modern writers, but I'm going for people that really know how to genre switch. So I'm sticking with writers, artists, and characters as my priority.
All right.
Well, may I interject here?
You may. Absolutely.
I think he's playing us. I think he's got a strategy. He's trying to throw us off. He's trying to throw us off that his next pick is going to be Ta-Nehisi Coates.
You can have him. You can have him.
Well, that being said, there we go. It's time for me to pick. And now finally, at least I get to do two in a row. So this leaves me in a tough spot. I actually agree with a lot of Remso said, which is why I am going to take a writer with my pick, because I do, and only because I do get two picks here. So in my mind, I can use one of them on a writer, and we'll see. We'll wait in one more pick. We'll see what I do. I think I may take a character with my third pick, but now the second round, I need a guy who could do superheroes, because my company I'm going to have some other, connected type of characters that might not fit that genre. We'll see how the draft goes, but my company is going to be a superhero company. We're going to the basics here. I want a guy that can write superheroes. I want a guy that can build a continuity. I want a guy that appreciates continuity, even though this is a little weird because we're going to be having characters from different universes, but we're going to pretend in our universe they're all in the same continuity. So just get ready for that. That being said, I am going with the prolific, the man that really is one of the first writers that pulled me back into superhero comics when I came back into comics about a decade or so ago. I am drafting Geoff Johns, my second.
It's a good pick.
All right, Jeffy Johns. But, however, everything I said earlier about characters still does apply. So I am going to take a character with my next pick, and this is where I have to do some a little bit of thought, because I've obviously, to me, the top three obvious characters are Batman, Spider-Man, Superman. They're all off the board, and to me, there's a very large tier 1A after that very, very top tier, I would say. So there's a lot of directions I can go. I would put Wolverine probably in that category as well, but given I have so many directions I can go, I think I'm just going to go with a personal favorite character, one that I'm going to have fun playing around, in the sandbox with and putting some weird writer on. So I'm going to draft a character I've loved from the beginning. One of the first characters that got, I wouldn't say that got me into comics, but one of the first runs of comics that I read over a long time. At the time that character was written by Peter David. I am drafting the incredible motherfucking Hulk, Bruce Banner edition, not the fucking Amadeus Cho or whatever. So I will say Hulk, Bruce Banner.
Which color?
Oh, good point. Do I have to choose? I don't think I have to choose that, because that's still the same character, right?
No, because then at that point you'd have to say, well, are you talking about, Gray Hulk or Smart Hulk or Savage Hulk or...
Yeah, which one are we talking about here, Mark?
Personalities are not separate characters.
Yeah, personalities are not separate characters. I think that's a rule we should all be able to agree on.
All right, I don't know.
I agree.
Vote on this? Okay, good. And then we voted officially. All right, back to Remso.
I'm gonna stretch out.
I may turn off the camera for a moment, but don't mind me. I'm here listening.
I'm gonna try and stretch out my field a little bit more. I don't just want to go all writers, all artists, all characters. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick an artist. He's a friend of the show. He's genuinely one of my personal favorites. He reminds me of Frank Miller and Steve Ditko combined into one of that Kirby-esque charm. If you like dark, if you want somebody who can write and draw, you got to go for the man who hangs on my wall. I am drafting Matt Battaglia.
Knew it. I knew you were going to go.
Wow.
Remso, you probably don't need to draft him. He's your buddy. He'll probably work for you not for free, but you could probably sign him off the draft.
I've always said that if I Matt, if you're listening to this, I'm pretty sure I've said this to you. If I start a real comic book company, Matt Battaglia is the person I want drawing my shit. I can't think of anyone else.
I don't think I can afford Geoff Johns if I'm starting a real comic book company.
That's a bit, that's a big salary right there.
All right, congrats to Matt Battaglia, the first artist drafted to Team Remso. Very exciting news. I'm sure he'll be hanging this the screenshot of this on his wall someday.
Be playing this for his child. Look, I was drafted for something.
Moving on. It's hard to keep up with the draft while doing this jingle, but anyway, let's see how long I keep going. Eric, you're up next.
Yep. So I am.
Oh yeah, I have to stop it every time too, or it goes in a loop forever.
That is a maddening sound.
Turn that off. Let me work on that.
So
no,
I
you
am
can't
going,
stop now.
Dun dun.
No, I'm gonna keep the. I'll keep the going. Don't worry.
So I am going with one of my favorite writers of all time. Had one of the most epic runs in all of comic book history.
I'm scared.
Wrote many classic storylines, created many classic villains and heroes. I am going with Chris Claremont.
Ooh, good one. That is a great one. Is he alive?
He's alive. I met him a couple weeks ago.
Okay, well, I haven't seen him lately, right? You haven't seen him yesterday.
He's still alive. He's still scheduled to be at Comic-Con.
We have to do live proof of life fact checks. Has he written lately? I don't know anything. Has he been? Has he been working? All right.
Yeah, he wrote.
All right, I think that's a great pick. That's a great pick. All right, moving on. Here we go. Let me tune it up so you know it's your turn. Jeffrey, pick is yours.
All right, I'm gonna keep it short. Hey, don't forget you have to turn that off after each song.
I know. I hate myself.
So, It was entirely your choice.
I know, and now I can't stop.
So I'm gonna, I took Alex Ross last round, so why wouldn't I go with Kurt Busiek this round?
Ooh, I like it a lot. One of my top writer picks is now gone. Very sad. And what's even sadder than that, Jeffrey, is it's your turn again. Sad for me, not sad for you.
All right. Well, this one, I think I could probably get him later on in the draft, but he's one of my personal favorites. Writer, artist extraordinaire. Wrote one of my favorite, probably my most favorite comic book in all of time, and that is Sam Keith.
Nice. I think you might have gotten him later, but he was on my list. So, like you said, you never know. There's a lot of picks till they come back to you. I think that's
a good one.
Now, here's the question: Are you drafting it as in your spot? You're drafting him as an artist? Because he is the writer of the Max, so you could use him for both. You could draft him in either one. I guess is what I'm saying, if you want, depending on how you want to straight. But you can use him. But we just talked this before the show. I don't know if I mentioned it. When you draft someone that both writes and draws, you can use them for both when you do your final product. It's just a matter of where you want to categorize them for the purpose of the draft. And you can even move them later if you put them somewhere now. If you get too much, you can. It doesn't. It's not like you're locked in.
I'll go with him as an artist for right now.
All right. I will. Yeah. Okay. I'll for now put him in as an artist, and again, you can always move that later. And Kurt Busiek. Wow, this is pretty stacked. Creative. I gotta say, Jeffrey. All right, Eric. Can you match that? What do you got?
I don't know if I can match that, but I'm going to take one of my favorite artists as well. He has done the New Mutants. He has done Moon Knight. He does covers, and he is a fine artist. I'm going to take Bill Sienkiewicz.
Damn.
I think I didn't spell it right, but I think we all know who I'm talking about. If you look at the sheet. All right, Bill Sienkiewicz.
Kiewicz.
Yeah, that's nothing like I spelled it, but whatever.
Sienkiewicz.
Sienkiewicz.
Okay. Hold on, I'm just trying to fix the sheet here, everybody. It's a lot to manage, This is not easy stuff, let me tell you. Remso, what was your other pick? I missed one of your picks. Matt Battaglia, there we go. Artist.
It was Riri.
All right, there we go. And Riri is next. Well, speaking of Remso, guess what?
I'm going to go ahead and draft a character to even my spread. I am drafting the original supervillain himself.
Ooh, I forgot about villains entirely. Dracula. What the fuck? Pretty sure he's public domain, pal. I don't think you have to
exactly. And I want him, so none of you can have him. I want fucking.
I don't know
Dracula.
if that's how it works. I think anybody can use Dracula. I think
not now. He's mine.
I think we need a ruling here.
Yeah,
well, actually, my ruling would be this: if I'm not making a ruling because I'm a draftee. We need to come to a consensus. But what I would say, if you want to use Dracula, if here's what we need: a rule of public domain. That's what we need. So. If a character is public domain, the answer is I need a podcast draft, a comic draft attorney stat. All right, Dracula is public domain. So if this is a real world thing, there's no world where you could only be the only one to have Dracula. So I would say
the rest of you are gonna look fucking cheap if you get Dracula after I pick them.
Well, no. Well, here's what I'll say. The only fair thing to do if we're basing this someone on real life is that you cannot draft Dracula, but you can use Dracula. And you can use any public domain character, and you don't need to draft them because we can all use them. So you don't need to draft Dracula. You can always look at it as a freebie. I think that's a fair medium. But then if you want to have a book that's like fucking super horror friends, and you can include Dracula in it, or you can have a Dracula book if you want, without even having to draft him. How's that?
That's fair.
Sounds fair to me.
All right, and that'll be the public domain rule. See, we're making this up as we go. That'll be known as the public domain rule. If a character is public domain, they cannot be drafted, but anybody can use them for any book.
So,
which really opens up some.
So should I pick someone in his place?
Yeah, pick someone else.
Yeah, Dracula is in fact in public domain.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Mr. Lawyer, I want Deacon Frost.
Who the fuck?
I want Deacon Frost from Blade.
You are the weirdest drafter.
Well, I mean,
you're just gonna draft another evil vampire.
I need a guarantee vampire.
You do, because you can use Dracula no matter what.
Yeah, I can have two vampires. No one ever said you can't. Haven't you ever heard of like two vampires, one thing of garlic or whatever?
Have you ever done an actual fantasy sports draft, Renzo?
I'm trying to establish a
Just
theme,
asking
which
the
is why
question. I'm just curious.
I would like to name my
Coming
team
down
at
on
this
you.
point. Can I name my team?
Sure, yeah, why not?
Because I want to stand out as the original, the OG here, the person that's really pushing the boundaries.
What's
Thank
your
you
team
very
name?
much.
Is it
Revolving
called
Door
Dollar Bin?
Comics.
Dollar bin,
Revolving
you mean?
Door Comics. All right. All right,
Okay.
cool. Well,
Revolving door.
we accomplished a lot there. We got a team name and we got two vampires drafted
I don't
somehow.
get it.
All right, moving along. It's my turn.
So much judgment.
This is tough, but my next pick does stem a little bit from a conversation we had earlier about using people that can do different things. So that kind of makes it or breaks it for one of my favorite creators overall. He is both a writer and an artist, so he can do both. Drafting Frank Miller, my friends.
Very nice.
And let's see, what am I? I'm gonna stick him in writer for now, but as I said, I can move him to artist if I choose to do so. And while I'm very, very tempted to take a character here because there's a lot of characters I want, and I know you guys are going to go character crazy, I think at this point I cannot risk missing out on my actual favorite comic writer of all time. So I'm going to draft another writer here. I'm going to draft Alan Moore. I ain't needing no fancy draft. What are you talking about?
I would like you to donate all proceeds from this draft to Black Lives Matter.
I'm actually going to put. I'm going to change this. I'm going to put Frank Miller as an artist for now, just to even this out. But I might can move that later.
Quick question. Alan Moore has retired from comics.
But he's not dead.
Anybody. The rule I had earlier. I mean, we can vote on it. We can change it if you guys want. I won't. I will let the tyranny of the majority rule ultimately. But my theory is if they're alive and they could be in comics, then I think they can be drafted because we're playing with funny money here. We can pull them out of retirement. We can, but the listener could take that into account. But what do you guys think? I'm open to being overruled.
No, that's fine. I was just saying that because I wanted him. Okay. So I figured if I can't have,
well, then because of that reasoning, no, we cannot use that rule. All right, moving on to Mr. Eric.
No, you skipped.
Oh, that was Remso. Sorry,
Remso. Wow.
I probably just skipped Remso because I wanted to count his fucking vampires twice. So yeah, Remso. It's yours.
Well, I'm about to give you all a swift kick.
You draft another vampire.
I am drafting
Porky Pig,
the Tom Brady of the comic book art community.
Again,
Rob Liefeld.
I'm so shocked that he got this far. I was tempted to take him right there just to prevent you, but I'm glad you got him because honestly, you're the biggest Rob Liefeld fan I personally know, and I like Rob Liefeld a lot. But Remso loves Rob Liefeld, so I think that man for a full fucking year to get my Snake Eyes signed cover. He deserves to be on your team, Remso. You've sent him more money than any of us.
Yes.
All right, moving on. Now we are back to Eric.
All right, I am going to go with another favorite writer of mine. I am going to go with Neil Gaiman.
Neil Gaiman,
damn.
I say Gaiman. Others say Gaiman. What do you say?
Gaiman, whatever.
Gaiman.
I don't know the truth. I mean, yeah, I say Gaiman.
That's right, Gaiman.
All right. Well, you got a Gaiman on your team, my friend. Jeffrey, you're up. I think I'm falling behind on some of these teams, but.
All right. So let's see.
Wait, Bill Sienkiewicz is an artist, right?
He's an artist, yeah.
Yeah, I put him in the wrong spot. Okay. Sorry, I got to turn that thing down.
All right, let me think here. So, two of my guys just went down. So,
I just want to recap that the first character that Remso drafted is Deacon Frost.
It was Dracula, and then you want to
restate that. Make sure everyone knows they're not dreaming. They didn't imagine that. This happened, and this is on the public record. Okay, moving on.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and use these next two picks to snap up some of my personal favorites. So first one will be an artist, and that is Chris Bachalo.
I feel like I know stuff he's done. He's done X-Force before. Is that correct? Or am I making that up? Tell me things he's done.
Generation X. He was the first artist for Generation X. Okay. He did X-Men for a while. He's done several other things.
So the poor man's Rob Liefeld. Gotcha.
All right, and because you're special, you're the snake, you get to go again.
I'm going to go with a character. Oh.
There you go.
I'm going to go with one of my personal favorite characters, The Question.
Ooh, interesting. Here's a question. Let's see if we can do it old school. Remso, what can you tell me about The Question?
And then The Question was originally a Charleston character, Charleston Comics, that was then purchased by DC. He is a private investigator, former detective, who goes ahead and has
journalist.
Yeah, he was a journalist, and what he has is basically this lifelike skin that he could put over his face. Last I checked, he can remove it with hairspray, and he's banging Huntress. He's pretty cool.
Wow. All right.
Now he's a chick.
Is that a satisfactory recap for you, Jeffrey?
Yeah, and just to clarify, it is the Vic Sage version of the question.
I got to do that just in case someone drafts another question.
Who's the cop from Gotham PD who's now
Renee Montoya?
Who's pretty cool. Like in terms of like gender switching characters.
Wait, she's the question now?
Yeah, she's been the question.
What? Why is Ray Montoya?
I think they brought back Vic Sage at some point.
Probably.
But I think they're both now questions.
Is that a new 52 thing? There's multiple questions. I have a lot of questions about that. All right.
Well, in the
sorry. You can. I want to know. Go on.
Yeah, I was going to say in that Maxi event that they had 52, not new 52, but 52. That was when Vic Sage died of cancer, and that's when Renee Montoya took over. But like I said, I'm pretty sure they brought him back since then. I mean,
you're probably right.
What's the expiration date? Sort of, kind of. He was originally, he had no powers, but then like during the 80s, they sort of gave him some like mystical powers and whatnot, and he got very zen. But
did some yoga and what have you. Bought some crystals. All right, I'm looking for the thing. Here it is. Eric, you're up next.
All right. So
why did I do this to myself? All right, Eric, go ahead.
I am going to go with a fine artist from the 90s. I am going to go with Jim Lee.
Jim Lee takes 2 months to draw a page, but he's still fucking good. So Jim Lee. All right.
Not with my whip at his back.
All right. Not with the fat check you're going to write him. All right. Remso.
I'm drafting the Jimmy Garoppolo of the dark end of the DC universe and drafting John Constantine.
Wow.
Nice.
John Constantine. All right. Very interesting lineup you've got, Remso. Very interesting lineup. Indeed. I'm just trying to fix this thing. Again, so I can't wait to see this Constantine Deacon Frost book that Remso's putting together.
It'll be so bitching.
Pretty excited for it.
Bitching.
All right. Next up, it's me. It's a tough one. But all right, I'm gonna take one more writer, then I'm probably gonna take a break. But my company is gonna be very superhero based, and there's one of the best superhero writers is still left on the board. So I'm going to draft that writer right here and right now. He's written many books that I've enjoyed over the years. His Flash run in particular being one of my favorites. I'm drafting Mark Waid, motherfuckers. All right, well that wraps up the first 6 rounds of the draft. But I think just to see where we're at here, maybe we just do a quick recap of who everyone has on their team. And maybe I can share this thing real quick and we can just do a quick recap.
We have the technology.
I do have the technology. Let's see. Comics Draft window. This window. Share this. All right. This is probably too small for anyone to see, but what if I make it bigger? Oh, now we're talking. You guys seeing this? All right, let's recap these teams and also double check that I've updated this fully. So Mark, team 1, we'll call him Jeff Johns, Alan Moore, Mark Waid in my writing pen. Also got Frank Miller as an artist right now, but he could do some writing too. What are they going to be working on? I don't know, but some possibilities include Batman and the Hulk version of the Bruce Banner version of Hulk. Then Remso, the esoteric Revolving Door Comics. I'm going to rename him right here in the document. Revolving Door Comics. Remso Martinez. Matt Kent. Chip Zdarsky. Matt Battaglia in the 3rd round going on his wall. Rob Liefeld. You think Rob Liefeld's upset that he was drafted after Matt Battaglia?
I don't think he cares enough after he got my money.
I think you should tweet to them afterwards. And a couple characters, some supernatural folks. Deacon Frost, number 1 character. And John Constantine. Maybe he's a
Can I go over a little bit of my methodology of characters?
Yeah, please.
Because I had characters last, I know you guys are going to fight for all your old man shit, okay? And I'll let you have it because I want characters who are popular enough, but not so popular that people are automatically jumping for them. And because I'm prioritizing my writers and my artists, I'm prepared to take leftover characters, because especially if they're characters that maybe might not be known as well or haven't been around for a while, if I have the right artist and writer, I can make the most unpopular people extremely captivating.
Okay. My only counter argument would not be against that strategy itself. It would just be that you probably could have drafted Deacon Frost 10 rounds later.
I probably could have done that.
Yeah. That's the value thing. But, you know,
I was really trying to just nail down a vampire. But bunch.
Nail down a vampire. All right, team 3, as it'll be known for now, Eric, Chris Claremont, and Neil Gaiman. That's a hell of a 1-2 in the writers of the bullpen, if you will. Bill Sienkiewicz, probably spelled wrong, and Jim Lee as artists, and some heavy hitters, Spider-Man and Wolverine as flagship characters. We head over to Jeffrey. Got Kurt Busiek, Brighton, got Alex Ross, got Sam Keith, Chris Bocciolo. Sam Keith again. He could write. He can do anything. Superman, as well as do you have 1, 2? Okay, yeah, that's right. Superman and The Question as his characters. How are we feeling about our team so far? 40 minutes into this disaster.
Could I go ahead and switch Sam Keith to writer?
Yeah, sure. For now. Yeah. You can float those however you like. You don't even need to, like, you know, whatever he is at the end of the draft it doesn't mean you need to use him for that later either. You can use them for either one later. But yeah,
I'm just evening things up.
Certainly.
So that can open you up for more artists. Got it.
Exactly. So yeah, guys that can do both. Like I can move Frank Miller over to writer if I want to draft 6 more artists, for example. All right, that's our first quarter break. We'll stop that. We're now heading back.
Quarter. Wow.
And now it's back to me, but I got to think about it because I was busy hosting the first quarter break. So I got to think of who I'm going to draft here. I got a number of characters in mind. I think I'm going to go back to a character, although maybe I should be drafting an artist because I really don't have hardly any. So, okay, I'm going to do something here. I am going to draft, and this actually fits into my overall strategy. Probably none of you guys are ever going to draft him. And you may ask yourselves how we're going to get along in the workplace and this sort of thing. But I think at the end of the day, money talks and business is business. And this guy can write and draw. Eric Larson, welcome to the team. Come on in, buddy.
You have such a cuckolded relationship with him.
You know, and look, obviously, well, I don't want to talk anymore about my show. I think I've said enough, but again, he does fit into I'm going to put him as an artist right now. I think if I let him helm a book, that's dangerous. But I will always defend Eric Larson, the artist. I think he's one of the best Spider-Man. What's so damn funny? I think he's one of the best Spider-Man artists. I love Eric Larson's art, so I'm happy to have him on board the team. It's just, you know, we're gonna have to have a few talks in the boardroom. I think. I don't know why he doesn't get.
You don't have to talk to him. You don't have to talk to him. You can
Everyone knows what character is in danger
money.
now.
That's what the HR department is for.
If we really wanted to get complicated with this someday, we could actually have like budgets and like values assigned to certain, you know, because that would be more realistic. Like Todd McFarlane would cost more if you were going to, you know, within your budget or what have you. But
he only gets a limited series.
Exactly.
Because he can only afford 6.
Or like Jim Lee you can only have him on 12 pages a year because that's all you can actually manage. But yeah, it's a fantasy draft. We got to have fun with it. It's no fun if we want to be realistic and Eric Larson gets writer's block for 9 months and there goes your fucking draft. All right, moving on back to the revolving door comics. Remso, who are we revolving in?
Savage Dragon.
Okay, that's fine.
Which one?
Yeah, who you drafting? Original Dragon or Malcolm Dragon?
Oh, Dragon. Original Dragon.
His name's just Dragon, so we'll say Dragon. All right.
I'm more than willing.
I baited you into that. All I cared about was Eric Larson.
I am more than willing to trade later for characters. I'm more than willing.
I'm looking forward to your adventures of Savage Dragon and fucking Deacon going after Deacon Frost. I'm all about it. You have fun.
You take that anchor there, Remso.
I want Chip Zdarsky to write that book and see if he can send Savage Dragon across the fucking multiverse like he did with Batman. All right, moving on. Eric, now I'm getting fired up. Getting interesting.
I don't even know what's going on here. So I got a tough choice next between this pick and waiting for Mr. Greek to go. I think I am going to follow up my Jim Lee pick with.
There's always one guy just to do an interlude. There's always, whenever you do like a fantasy baseball draft, there's always one guy who does craziest shit, and you're like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Did he drafts like, some like, third string, like third baseman with a third round pick, and you're like, but that guy always ends up winning the fucking draft. So maybe that's Remso. Maybe that's what's gonna happen.
Maybe
Somehow that guy wins every time.
Maybe.
Right, sorry, go ahead.
Maybe. So I gotta think. I gotta think on this for a second.
Really, you had my whole rant there to think.
I know, but I was enjoying your rant. I enjoy your rants, Mark.
Remso's draft of Savage Dragon really threw you off.
I think I'm gonna stick with my guns here. I'm gonna go with Joe Quesada.
Oh, he was on my list.
Nice one. I don't know when the last time he drew a book is, but it's a nice one.
Doesn't matter.
Big fan.
You guys made lists?
I have some lists of like just random lists just of names to glance at in case I draw a blank or something. All right, moving on.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead.
There you get 2 chimes for 2 picks. There you go.
There you go. So I'm going to go ahead and draft another artist. And this is definitely an artist because his writing sucks. Todd McFarlane.
Oh boy. I think that is great value no matter how you use him in the 7th round for Todd McFarlane. No doubt. I just put him on my team. Let me fix that. All right. Interesting pick. And you get the wraparound. So who is your next pick? Jeffrey.
I'm going to pick a personal favorite of mine. Again, this is a character. One of the most criminally underused characters in the Marvel Universe. I'm looking at you, Remso. Darkhawk.
What is happening?
Take him.
What is life right now? All right, Darkhawk.
Oh, man. That was my next pick. Damn it.
Shocking pick. So Jeffrey has the character of Darkhawk. And the artist of Todd McFarlane. All right, next up, we are back to Mr. Eric.
I'm continuing my artist streak here. I am going with this is a good follow-up to Todd McFarlane. Going with Greg Capullo.
Ooh, that is a good follow-up to Todd McFarlane. Only they were on the same company. Too bad they're not. All right, moving on back to Mr. Remso.
For writer, I want I have to think now because I think a lot of you starting to narrow in on him. Okay, I want the baby daddy of modern comic horror who was such a badass he knocked up AMC into giving him like a dozen freaking spin-offs. I want Robert Kirkman.
Oh, that one hurts. That one hurts. That one really hurts. But what's the phrase? Turnabout is fair play. That being said, my next pick I draft Invincible.
Nice.
Money. I guess he won't be written by Robert Kirkman, but Robert Kirkman won't be writing Invincible. Maybe. But moving on to another pick from me. And all right, now I've got some decisions to make here, but this is one that I don't want to risk losing. So I'm going to draft him here. One of my favorite characters, and I would definitely want to have a little bit of a horror vibe. Heck, I might even reunite him with his not original, but his most well-known writer. That is the Swamp Thing that I will be drafting. The Swamp Thing, going on a little character run.
Nice.
Who's going to draw all this stuff? I don't know. I got to figure that out. And
still plenty of artists left.
Yeah, there is. There's lots of artists. Back to you, Mr. Remso.
I would like Dr. Stephen Strange.
I'm glad you clarified, since the other Doctor Stranges.
We don't count chick Doctor Strange.
Who is the chick Doctor Strange?
They made Leah Doctor Strange. Well, I don't know if she was just Doctor Strange or if she was just the master of mystic arts or whatever, Sorcerer Supreme, but they gave her the Strange title and it was just retarded.
Yeah.
And then they brought him back after like 3 months.
Well, that's longer than Miss Marvel anyway.
Which was like 5 minutes. And they didn't even kill her in her own book.
It was literally the next issue.
Book. The previews the next day, the funeral, the return.
Where will Miss Marvel get drafted? That's the question I have. I think we should say as part of the draft, not as part of the draft, not something we draft, but we all get to make one movie out of one of our properties, and we can. Do we need a director draft? No, we can all. Okay, here's the deal. We all get to make a Zack Snyder movie out of one of our characters, and we each get a contract with Zack Snyder. He does 4 movies that year.
Deal.
All right, it is up to you, Mr. Eric.
Ooh, I'm up. I think, seeing there's a lot of deep picks going on here, I'm just gonna have to move some stuff around here. I think I'm gonna go with one of my favorite new characters, something that I have brought to SPC. I am going to go with Erica Slaughter.
Wow.
I dig it.
For those that don't know, Erica Slaughter is from what book, Eric, that we talked about?
Something is Killing the Children.
Something is Killing the Children.
Nice. Jeffrey's like, you can fucking take it.
I can't wait to see Erica Slaughter going after, like, let's see, Wolverine or something. See, this is what's fun about this. All right, Jeffrey, what do we got?
All right.
Row again.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and take another artist, and that's going to be Jim Lee.
Already taken, buddy.
Jim Lee was it? Oh, sorry. Oh, okay.
This is why this help.
This is a different Jim Lee.
This is the white Jim Lee.
This is just Jeffrey's friend, his neighbor, Jim.
How about John Romita Jr.?
John Jr.
That's good.
Fuck,
I'm mad.
Is the original still alive?
No, he just passed away.
Senior, yeah.
He passed away like last month.
It's too soon.
Like, I'm not sad he's dead. I'm just mad because of the draft. That's not really nice.
If only he had held on.
I am also sad he's dead, obviously. Jeffrey, you get 2 picks here. What do we got?
All right, I'm going to go with another character, and I'm going to go with the Joker.
Ooh. You took my foil away from me, Jeffrey. Not cool, man. Not cool at all. Right. I might be coming at you with it for a deal later. Jeffrey with the character of the Joker, and that brings me back to Eric.
All right. So I am going to go with a very popular writer, modern writer right now. Writes a lot of different books, mostly in the horror genre. Creator of Erica Slaughter, James Tynion IV.
James Tynion IV. I think you're either just a true douchebag, not you, or you'd have to be you better truly be the most royal motherfucker ever if you're using the 4th in your name. Like, you better live up to it. I've never seen him.
I met him at Comic-Con last year. He was a very nice guy.
Is he fancy as fuck? Because I think
not at all.
Should be. I don't appreciate it, because I think if you have a 4th on the end of your name,
you need a monocle, top hat, cane.
You got to be like super fancy. So that's a shame to hear. But let me put him on your team. James Tynion IV.
Yeah, make sure it's the 4th. I don't want the 3rd.
No, the 3rd.
He was no good.
Is horrible. 3rd is absolutely horrible. Let's see. I think I missed your Joe Quesada earlier and your Greg Capullo earlier. I'm really catching up here. All right. Moving on to Revolving Door Comics.
I am bringing in as one of my writers in the bullpen, the Jimmy Garoppolo of Marvel and Image, Matt Fraction.
Ooh, good one. Very good pick. What are some of your favorite Matt Fraction books, Remso?
He reinvented Iron Man in a way that can only be equated to what Jon Favreau did with Robert Downey Jr. in the movies. When he came in after Warren Ellis's first volume, the rest of the original Invincible Iron Man title suffered until he came back with a new Invincible Iron Man in 2008. He went ahead and made it freaking awesome. He reinvented S.H.I.E.L.D. He's gone on to do the same thing for X-Force and other comics. Matt Fraction is one of my favorite writers of the past 2 decades. And Sex Criminals. Sex Criminals is a hilarious book. If you have not read that from Image Comics, he did that after he was kicked out of the Inhumans title in, I think, 2013, 2014 from Marvel, went over to Image, continued Sex Criminals. That was awesome.
Matt Fraction's 25-issue Hawkeye run was
phenomenal. Yeah,
it's one of my favorite runs. That's one of the first. I think that's actually the first at the time it was coming out Marvel comic I started reading when I got back into comics, and I was like, oh, there are some good comics again. I don't really feel that way anymore, but
if you like Hawkeye in the movies, people, you got to thank Matt Fraction for that.
All right, moving on.
Maybe Mark Millar, but definitely Fraction.
Back to yours truly. I think we're kind of in the phase where we don't want to miss some of our favorites, and I don't know. Maybe I could get him later, but I don't want to miss out on him. He's one of my favorite characters. I'm drafting Hellboy. Right?
Nice.
Yeah. Boy, drafting Hellboy. And since you mentioned him, Renzo, again, I am lacking in artists, and I'm gonna have to really scramble for some artists later. But another one of my favorite writers, I think I can't resist just building what I see as just an all-star, perhaps even, dare I say, unbeatable writing squad. And who am I going to add to that? The master of geopolitics and espionage and all this sort of type of story. I'm adding to my team, Mr. Warren Ellis, another gosh darned Brit. Now what the hell? Oh my Lord, Warren Ellis. All right, Remso.
I want to. I only have a few more people. I only have a few more people for writers, so I want to corner the writers market. I'm drafting the man who made the Hulk incredible again and horrifying, Al Ewing.
Interesting.
Nice.
Interesting pick. Too bad he's not going to be writing the Hulk, but that should be interesting nonetheless. Moving on, back to you, Eric.
All right, I'm going to go back to characters. I am going to take Blade.
Blade, who will not be battling Deacon Frost, but
Fucker.
Frost.
Think about this. Remso drafted Deacon Frost before Blade, but he had plans to draft Blade. What the hell
but
is wrong
he did
with
have
him?
plans to draft Blade. That's the funniest part.
Blade was way
it
down my
might make
list.
sense if he had no plans to draft Blade.
I had to move
but
Blade
he did, and that's hilarious. All right. Moving on to the aforementioned, not aforementioned, we've all been aforementioned, Jeffrey.
All right, I'm going to take a artist with my first pick, and that would be Ashley Wood.
Ashley Wood, I have no idea who that is. Tell me more.
He did art for
That's a he?
I thought it was a chick. I thought we finally had a chick.
No, it's a he. No. We don't let women on the podcast.
Is Louise Simonson still alive? I'm trying to think of a female creator.
Yes, she is.
She's still right. Well, yeah, she can do whatever.
Yeah, I just met her too.
Just Google his art. It's
Walt too.
I love it. Yeah,
Walt's
Walt's alive too.
He did artwork for the Spawn spinoff, Hellspawn. He's done several. I think his own work too, and so on and so forth. I just really dig his style. So,
all right,
Ashley Wood,
good stuff.
And
you get another one.
Well, I think I'm going to go with Mike Mignola.
Very nice.
Michael, son of a gun.
Very respectful. Yeah.
Set myself up for that by not drafting him next to Hellboy. I really thought about it. Another one that could be as a writer or artist, technically speaking.
Yeah.
Where do you want to slot him? Artist?
What do I have more slots in? Or are they even up?
Do you have the document too? But you have one artist spot left and you have 4 writer spots left.
Okay, well then writer it is.
Okay, he's a writer for now. But yes, he will not be paired with Hellboy, it seems, although of course we can do trades at any point. We can trade the middle of the draft, we can trade off air, we can never trade. These are all options. Just put it out. Because I would love to reunite him with his boy, his baby. That being said, what are we gonna get out of Remso next? I can't wait to see, but we're gonna have to wait because actually Eric is next.
All right, so I am going to go with one of my favorite cosmic superheroes. I am going with Green Lantern, specifically Hal Jordan. Sorry, Mark.
Yeah, I have all these ideas, and they're all fading away. All my pairings are fading away. All right, but good pick. Green Lantern, Hal Jordan probably was my next pick. No longer is, and that's how life goes. So moving on. Remso, what are you throwing at us this time?
My final author pick, Ed Brubaker.
Final? You have 6 authors?
Yep.
I only have 4 on my list for you, so maybe
Ed Brubaker made Captain America, the Winter Soldier, the phenomenal comic eventual movie adaptation it was.
Matt Kind, Chip Zdarsky, Robert Kirkman. Okay, that's one I missed. Robert Kirkman, Matt Fraction, Ed Brubaker. You have one more
Al
writer.
Ewing. I did Al Ewing.
Al Ewing. Okay, you're right. You're full of writers. All right, full of writers. And again, you can use a writer more than once. You can also use a artist more than once, but no more than twice for either one when we do our final books. And we can decide, we could do, I don't know, what do you guys think? We said 8 to 10. We could do up to 12 books because theoretically you could have two and two, but maybe that's too much. Maybe 10. What if we say 10 to 12 and leave it up to ourselves?
Do you really want to give, what's his name? Eric Larson any responsibility?
I mean, I'm going to have to. I don't have many options right now. All right, well, let's keep it 8 to 10. Ed Brubaker. Let me just paste him in the thing. A lot of this audio is just me trying to paste things into a document. All right, we're good there. All right. Maybe Remso should just hum it every time instead of me having to do it. All right, moving on.
Chocolate is what brings people back every week.
That was a very good pick. I'd say I have potentially 6 writers because my two artists are Frank Miller and Eric Larson. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to let Eric Larson pen anything. So let's see. Let me think about this here. All right. Well, here's a guy who has done a lot of work with one of my writers. So, and I would like a really solid artist that I know can work very well with my top writer. So I have that because I'm going to add Gary Frank, artist Gary Frank.
Did he do Mage? Was that him?
He's done a lot of stuff with Jeff Johns. He did Doomsday. He's the artist of Doomsday Clock.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's cool.
And what else? He's done a bunch of stuff. Anyway, he's good. I like him. I like his stuff. But I get 2 picks here. So I really need to fill out my character roster. And because Green Lantern, look, it's very tempting. It's very tempting to take another Green Lantern here. It's very tempting to take a Guy Gardner and just do my whole thing. But look, unlike some other drafters, I do try to look at the value. And I think I might, although maybe now you're going to try to get me, right? Maybe I'm going to bait you into drafting Guy Gardner to rob me of him. No, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to a core character, an old favorite. I don't know how it's all going to shake out, but I need a smart guy. I need a smart character. I need a genius. Drafting Reed Richards. So.
My next pick was already decided before you did that, so don't think this is retaliation. But dun 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 dun, Doctor Doom, motherfucker!
How lame! How incredibly lame! What a good pick. Yeah, we're gonna have to do a supplemental draft of characters because we need villains and stuff too, you know. So I think we're gonna need to do an offline draft of just random characters that we can add via email, but only for characters. I think we'll keep the writers and artists as they are. So these will be like our first 12 characters, and then I think we'll do we could probably add another 12 to 24 to 36 characters because if we really want to have a universe and we want to have team books and that sort of thing. But I think that will be way too long for this draft. That being said, moving on to Eric, who are you going to take from me next?
I don't think I'm going to take this person from you, but I'm going to take another artist. I'm going to take Jim Starlin.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Sure, that's something. He's still drawing anything right now?
He is.
He's done a lot of graphic novels, original graphic novels. He did a whole string of Thanos ones. I got a bunch of those from my brothers. For my brother, that was really good.
All right, Jim Starlin has been drafted now. I'm frightened of Jeffrey having 2 picks here, but let's see what happens. Here we go.
So, am I looking at this right? Has Grant Morrison not been picked yet?
You're looking at that right, my friend. I was hoping you wouldn't notice. Seems like you did.
Well, there you go. That's my next pick.
All right, Grant Morrison. What are some of your favorite Grant Morrison books, Jeffrey?
Didn't he do Planetary?
He might have done part of a run. I mean, it's Warren Ellis's book, but he might have done part of a run on that as well.
Okay. Has Warren Ellis been picked yet?
Yes, he has by me.
Okay.
This is why we make lists.
Let's see.
What just happened?
What the
Whoa,
hell?
that was weird. You were gone and then you were back immediately, so we're still good.
All right. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and pull the trigger. Divisive pick, no doubt. I think with the proper creative control, he can be reined in. Brian Michael Bendis.
Ooh.
He was so this is
Remso weeps
interesting.
here.
No, this is interesting because I had him on my list. He was going to be one of my first like 2 picks. I didn't want him only because he made Justice League such a horrible title.
Yeah, but like his earlier work is some of my favorite stuff.
He has most of our 20s on the show. Secret War and a handful of others. Like I think Ultimate Spider-Man created Miles Morales, but for every Miles Morales, he gave us a Riri Williams. So it's a real love-hate.
Well, he won't be doing any of that nonsense in my company.
There you go. Keep him on a tight leash.
All right, we are now moving back to Eric, who is now in spooky vision mode. I like it.
Yeah, I had to change the lighting. It was completely blown out.
Yeah, this is better. I like this.
All right, so I'm going to go with a character that I did not anticipate sticking around this long. I am going to take Spawn.
Spawn. Ooh, that is a darn good one. All right, Spawn. All right, moving on to Mr. Remso.
Bloodshot.
All right,
coming back to Chip.
Shot. Boom. Boom. Copy. Bloodshot back. Has he done Bloodshot before?
Yeah, he did Bloodshot. Zdarsky did.
I think you're making that up.
No.
I'm going to fact check you right now. Chip Zdarsky. Bloodshot. I don't know. Not seeing anything about this. I don't think that happened, Remso, but it's nice.
Looking
nice
right now.
Oh yeah, looks like there was some a Bloodshot Reborn. Okay.
Oh no, I'm sorry. That was Jeff Lemire. Jeff Lemire did, but I would like to see Zdarsky do Bloodshot.
All right. Well, you might have the chance to do that. You do have the chance to do that now, actually. So, moving on to. I got a lot of ideas here, but you know what? I'm just not going to fuck around, and someone might try to still fuck this, and that's okay. But I don't care. The Thing. I'm drafting The Thing, and I'm drafting The Invisible Woman.
Oh.
And now I am done. Moving on. Remso, what you got?
What was the name of the robot that was a member of the Fantastic Four for a while?
Kirby?
That's probably going to be his next pick. Kirby.
We'll see what I have to do.
I want Ghost Rider Danny Ketch.
Ketch. Oh, that means I can still have a Ghost Rider.
You have 2, 3, 4 other options, depending on if you remember 2 of the more unpopular ones.
All right, Ghost Rider, Danny Ketch. Moving on.
Danny Ketch is definitely the best Ghost Rider.
Oh yeah, that's people who are like, "What about Johnny Blaze?" It's like everything you love about Johnny is all because of Danny. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to Eric.
All right, so I'm going to bring up a writer that Remso just mentioned. I am going to take Jeff Lemire.
Nice one. Very nice.
Damn.
I believe he wrote Old Man Logan as well.
That was Millar. That was Mark Millar.
Was that Millar? Are you sure? Can I trust you, Remso?
Yeah.
I usually can't on these things. All right.
Ouch.
Moving on to a double whammy from Jeffrey once again.
Oh boy. Well, unfortunately, my next pick just got taken. So,
Oh, then it's not your next pick, no, is it?
Yeah, no, it's not.
It's always available for trade.
Yeah. Well. I have 4 writers right now, right?
In your yes, you have. Hold on, let me get over to the thing. You have 4 writers in writer spots at the moment. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
5 in the artist spots, so you can draft 2 more. I mean, you also could move. You could move one. There's a guy you can move. You can move. Actually, 2 guys theoretically that can move. That you can move around. You can move Sam Keith or Mike Mignola because they could both be artists. But so you could actually, if you wanted, you could move one of them and still have 3 more writer spots, or you can have 2 more writer spots and 1 more artist that you draft.
All right. Let me check something out real quick. Crap. Yeah, everything is. What the hell? Sorry, I'm having technical issues.
And everyone should try to double check me a little bit because I'm doing my best to keep up. But you know how these things can go.
Yeah.
If anything looks
all
off.
right. I'm going to go with another artist. I guess my final artist, right?
Wait, who was the last pick you took? Oh, you haven't gone
Yeah,
yet.
I haven't gone yet.
All right.
I'm going to go with Joe Madureira.
I don't know who the fuck that is, but tell me more. Didn't he do some Deadpool? Am I making that up?
He was an X-Men artist. Did Battle Chasers, so on and so forth.
Oh, Joe Madeira or whatever.
Yeah. Well, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just pronouncing it the way it's spelled.
I have Battle Chasers right here in my fucking pile, my friends.
Yeah.
Battle Chasers.
Oh, what's Battle? I guess coming soon to an SPC episode near you is what it is.
Battle Chasers. Oh,
so
wow.
He's going in as artist, right? Yes.
Yes.
I think he probably.
Oh my God! You think I would put him as a freaking writer, so he can put out one issue every 4 years?
It's your company, bro. You can do whatever you want. All right. And what's your next pick?
My next pick. Let's see. I believe I'm going to go with Magneto.
Magneto. That's a good one. I like it a lot. Moving on, back to you, Eric.
All right. So with artists like Jim Lee and Joe Quesada, kind of need to throw some females into the mix here.
No, you don't. There's no ESG scores here. You don't have to. Maybe just for the office. Now you got to think about that. Maybe you don't want a sausage fest in the office. I mean, that is.
Who has a black guy on their team?
I'm talking about.
Does Savage Dragon count as a black guy?
No. Malcolm Dragon could. But not regular Dragon, no.
So Eric has the most woke team because he has Blade and Spawn. Wow.
Oh yeah.
Power to the people.
Super woke.
Oh, I'm about to add to that.
Erica Slaughter, female, distressed white female.
Here comes another one. Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Very progressive of you.
I'm pretty sure Mark has the wokest team just because he's got Eric Larson. I mean, that's
that alone.
Yeah, that's like 1 million woke points.
He's gonna have to sign. He's not allowed to talk in public when he works for my company.
Mark, just as a housekeeping note, in the side of the document where you've got everything more organized, you got Grant Morrison in the character slot for Jeffrey.
So that might have messed some things up for you, Jeffrey. Well, not really. It's just
it was just the one.
So you have one more writer spot, Jeffrey.
Okay.
Unless you'd like to use Grant Morrison as a character, technically you could draft Brian Michael Bendis as a character because he's appeared in books, right? Grant Remso.
Yeah.
Just saying, if you need to move things around,
play the music.
I'm trying to find it. Calm down. Here you go. All right, it's your turn, Remso.
I just realized how deficient in the artist category I am, so I want to go ahead and pair Ed Brubaker with his buddy who also made Captain America look so badass, Steve Epting.
All right, Steve Epting. Moving on. I can't believe I'm using 4 picks to make a book, but I've come this far. I may as well do it. I'm drafting the Human Torch, Johnny Storm. I guess I should.
Yeah, I was about to say which one.
I was ready. If one of you drafted Johnny Storm, I was going to draft Jim Hammond and just use him, and you're gonna suck my fucking balls. But I didn't have to do it. So, all right, I get to do a Fantastic Four book. That's all I really wanted, and I made myself use 4 characters for it. But here we go. All right. So who is going to draw this book? I don't know, but I'm going to need some more artists. So I'm going to draft a guy whose art I've really enjoyed. I don't think I've seen him on much lately, but his art on Jeff Johns' Justice League run, some of my favorite superhero art in modern times. Jason Fabok is who I'm drafting.
That's cool.
Nice.
Let me add these things. Jason Fabok. But yeah, Remso, you're next.
Mark, this one's somewhat inspired by your Case of the Runs where you covered Justice Society of America. People can go ahead and listen to people can go ahead and listen to Mark's Case of the Runs over on patreon.com/secondprintpod. He covered all of Jeff Johns' Justice League of America. He's already got Jeff Johns, but I wanted to go ahead and bring on the artist. I love this guy. I'm going ahead and grabbing Dale Eaglesham. He was the penciler on that book, so I'm drafting him.
All right. Dale Eaglesham as an artist to team Revolving Door, who is almost full of artists and writers.
Mark, as a quick tease, what was your overall? I know you did a whole thing, but for people that want to just get a quick glimpse, how did you like that JSA run?
I loved it, and this is a nice little promo for Patreon. One of the things I did on Patreon, I did a Case of the Runs, a deep dive on Jeff Johns' JSA run the early 2000s, a run I had never read before. So it was a first time read for me. And I highly recommend it. I think I gave the overall run just and there's a number of, it wasn't all Jeff Johns from the beginning. First, he started as a writer's assistant, then he was a co-writer, then he finally took over. So there's kind of stages of the book, and you can see more of his influence as you go on. But I think I gave the overall run a 9 as a recommendation. So that should tell you a lot. Now, that's not one writer or artist, but yeah, but the Eaglesham was on a good portion of that. Sure. All right, moving on to Senor Eric.
All right, so I think any good comic book company needs a consistent, steady hand at writing. I'm going to take Joshua Williamson.
Oof. I didn't mean oof bad. I just meant oof. He can write. He can do 80 of your books, and you're good. You're good to get.
That's right.
At least they're going to be published every month.
Hump them out.
Some will be good. Some will be whatever, but they're going to come out. God damn it.
That's right.
All right, good pick. Moving on to Jeffrey for the double whammy once again.
All right. Well, I'm good with artists. I'm pretty full up on writers, so I guess I'll go ahead and start fleshing out my characters. Speaking of the JSA, I'm going to go with 2 of my personal favorites. I'm going to go with the original Doctor Strange, Dr. Fate.
Great one. He was on my list. Who else are you going to take from me?
And also from the JSA, taking Hawkman.
Killing me here. You're killing me. Hold on. I made a mistake here. Boom. Hawkman. So I guess I'm not going to make my JSA book after all.
You don't have enough character slots. You took up 4 of them for the Fantastic Four.
There will be a supplemental draft. You
keep giving me his guys, Mark.
Back to you, Eric.
Mark, you keep giving me his guys on the sheet.
Oh, shit. Really? Oh, crap.
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay, so Dr. Fate and Hawkman go to Jeffrey. Who else? Did I do anything? Anybody else?
You deleted Wonder Woman for me.
God damn it. Wait, no, I put him in Remso. Oh my God, I'm destroying this thing. All right, we're going to have to check this later because there's probably mistakes.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm keeping track.
All right.
All right, so I'm going to take my my last artist. This is one of my favorite Green Lantern artists. Big time 90s Green Lantern artist, Darryl Banks.
Darryl Banks. I don't know him at all. Darryl Banks. Let me put him in the right column this time. How about that? That is you, right? Yes, that's you. Boom. Okay. Back to the revolving door of comics.
You're on. Remso's talking and on mute.
Sorry, that was my bad. Not to be annoying. Jason Fabok is in my column. Who
oh my God, that's not annoying. It's annoying that I did it wrong. Hold on. Yeah, I'm probably making mistakes left and right, to be honest with you guys.
Okay. I just want to check it.
Let's see. Jason Fabok, artist. Remso, Jason Fabok. I don't see him anywhere in your column.
So he's in my section.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah, he's between Rob Liefeld and Steve Epting.
Got it.
Yeah. So just in that empty spot. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and recruit my last. I'll do it after this. So Brian Hitch. Brian Hitch.
Not a bad one. Can technically write. I'm a Brian Hitch art guy. I like Brian Hitch's art. Don't love him.
I really like him in that. When you let him team up with Jeff Loeb, he ends up saying, "Let's kill everyone in the Ultimate Universe."
So he's going in an artist spot, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And now we're back to me already. All right. Well, how do I have so many open spots? So did I miss some things? Something looks off here to me. We'll figure out as we go. All right, now I'm finally at an impasse. I'm not exactly sure what to do, so I'm going to glance at my list. Okay, this is a guy. I'm pretty sure I can use him for both once again. So the name of my game is Versatility. This is a guy whose stuff I have absolutely loved recently. Do a power bomb, baby. Is it Darren or Daniel? Daniel Warren Johnson, right? Daniel.
Yeah,
I think it's
Daniel Warren Johnson. He's going to be doing something with me. That's cool. Got him. And why do I keep deleting? Daniel Warren Johnson. Make sure he goes in the right thing. I'm going to put him as an artist for now. I think I'm more likely to use him as an artist, but maybe for both. And then
Transformers in too.
I think I could use some more core characters, and it's a tough one, but there's a few I'm thinking about. But one of my other favorite characters, I've always enjoyed this character through various runs. From Mark Waid to Jeff Johns and beyond. I'm going to draft the fastest man alive, the Flash, Barry Allen, the original Flash. Even though growing up,
That's not the original Flash.
okay, well, we're not going with Jay Garrick. We're going with the Flash Barry Allen, the original Speed Force powered Flash. The Flash Barry Allen is my pick. Moving back to Revolving Door Comics.
I am drafting.
Looking more and more insane every minute, but go ahead.
Javier Saltares, who did Ghost Rider. Folks who have been listening to us for a while can remember him and his artwork when we did the Ghost Rider in Sleepy Hollow episode way back in 2020.
All right, looks like it's all characters for you from here on out, if my notes are correct. Hopefully they are. Moving on to Eric.
All right, I am going.
Sorry.
Damn, Mark, you just love that sound. I am going to go with Moon Knight.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
A
If
very,
I can't
very
have Batman, I'm going to have his low rent version.
There's an even lower rent version out there still on the board, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I think you guys talked about him.
Wait, I just gave you to me. Okay, Eric. Man, I'm so bad at this. I should not be managing this. All right, Moon Knight. Now we move to 2 mega picks from the man himself, Jeffrey.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and finish out my writers. I'm going with Matt Wagner.
Very nice. Did he do? He does both, right? Does he did the art for Grendel and yeah, he does do both. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but I'm keeping him as a writer.
I'm just saying because you versatilities. Those are all good picks.
Yeah. And in that spirit, to accompany him, who else but Wesley Dodds, the Sandman.
Ooh, nice one. Wesley Dodds, Sandman.
Oh, nice.
Sandman, Wesley.
Just played a major part in Night Terrors.
Yeah. It's so great that they're bringing him back.
Yeah.
Wesley.
He's getting his own mini-series.
You did read it, didn't you? Because you loved
I read the whole thing.
Yeah. What did you think?
I thought it was pretty good.
Really?
Yeah.
You should come on and give the counterpoint for Night Terrors. I avoided it altogether, so I guess I can't actually talk. Wesley Dodds. Okay.
I've read every single DC crossover event this year.
Maybe you want to draft someone else, John. Maybe you want to draft John D. Let's find out. You're next.
Am I up? That's my time. Jeez.
My time.
Really? I'm back. Damn it.
Just like that.
All right. Oh man. What do I got left here? Let's see. It looks like I got one writer somehow and a bunch of characters. Let's see.
This episode, once again, sponsored by foxandsons.com, FOXNSONS.com. When we go over an hour, you get a second ad. That's how it works. That's on us, Jeffrey. You're going to need the coffee to listen to this episode and to record it.
You know what? I am going to go with Jean Grey.
Jean Grey. Very, very interesting pick. What's your logic behind Jean Grey? You going to try to build an X-Men team at the last minute here?
I mean, there's a lot of them still left on the board.
True. Yeah. Very true. All right. Let's see if Remso takes any mutants. Maybe he'll take the Mimic. Let's find out.
I am taking the Scarlet Witch.
Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
All right. Very good. Very good. Ooh, tough one here. All right. I got double picks here. You know, I've been thinking a lot about this. I really want to have, especially because I got Warren Ellis. I'm not saying I'm going to pair him with this. I don't know if I'm going to, but I really want to have a one cool spy type character. This character has not been taken yet. So I'm going to draft. No, not fucking Sam Jackson version. I'm going to draft the David Hasselhoff version of Nick Fury, the original.
Yeah.
Nick Fury, old grizzled eye patch, not the one that's fucking in space, not the one that's a watcher, the actual Nick Fury, who's just a gritty motherfucking war hero who kicks a lot of ass.
Nice pick.
To be my book. I don't know if I'm going to write, if Warren Ellis is going to write that book, but it's tempting. It's my first thought. We shall see. I'm going to follow that up. I need to build my characters out a little bit more, I think. And I really wanted Scarlet Witch. She was going to be my lady. So I think I'm going to take another character because I'm trying to make money here, right? Who's going to make me more money right now? Motherfucking Deadpool. So I'm drafting Deadpool as well. Character. Well, I only have one character left. That's scary. No, I'm done with characters.
Yeah, that was your last pick, I believe.
You're correct. No, well, wait.
You've got two artists.
So I missed something because I have 4 open spots, but I have 3 more picks. Because I added 3 more rounds at the end.
We had more picks.
Yeah, we added more picks for characters.
Oh, for characters. Okay, right. I see.
I missed either one of my artists or one of my. I got Frank Miller. Check. All right, this is the fun part of the show where we just get to let me figure something out. Alan Moore, check. Mark Waid, check. Eric Larson, check. Invincible, check. Swamp Thing, check. Hellboy, check. Warren Ellis, check. Gary Frank. I didn't put Gary Frank in. Okay, that's what it was. Gary Frank. All right, so yeah, I get 3 more picks, but first we got to go back to the revolving door that is Remso Martinez. That was his door. That was what they called his dorm room in college, the revolving door.
Actually, that is kind of why it's inspired. Homelander. I want Homelander.
Homelander. Okay, yeah, a comic character. That does apply. That does very much apply. All right. All right, moving on to Senor Eric. You're up again. Here's the jingle to remind you.
I believe I still have a character left. Cannot believe this character's still here. Venom.
Oh, very good one. Very, very good one. You get to pair him with your Peter Parker.
I can pair him with Erica Slaughter is what I can do.
Venom. Oh, yeah. Erica Slaughter going after Venom. I like that.
Yeah.
I have you having 2 more character spots, though, because I added these 2 character spots. So you actually have 2 more.
Oh, and a writer. And a writer,
yeah. So, but first, we got to go back for more dream crushing from Jeffrey.
Well, so when I picked Matt Wagner, I was thinking of Sandman Mystery Theater, which is one of my favorite comics. So thank you for reminding me. And my next pick is going to be Grendel himself, Hunter Rose.
Nice. There only one Grendel? Do I need to specify Hunter Rose? Is there another Grendel?
There are a bunch of Grendels.
Yeah.
There are a bunch of Grendels.
All right, yeah. So I will specify that. And yeah, we definitely got to do a supplemental draft because I think we're all going to need more characters at our disposal for,
You put that one under me.
Oh, man, I'm so bad at this. Boom. Okay, yeah, you got a bunch of character spots left. Is this right? Are we missing a character from you? We got to be.
Yeah, right? Because I think at this point everybody has 2 picks left.
So you didn't put down Scarlet Witch for me earlier.
Okay.
No, everybody has 3 picks left.
Everybody should have 3 picks left.
3 picks?
So he has 3 picks left. You have everyone under him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I have 4 picks for Jeffrey. I'm missing 4 spots for Jeffrey, so I'm missing one of them, and I think it's Magneto. Here it is.
Yeah.
Boom.
Oh, Magneto. Right.
Okay. Now. Okay, yeah, we should be good now. So you get 1 more pick here, and then 1 more pick at the end. No, you get 1 more pick here, then 2.
Yeah.
2 more picks. Okay. Yeah.
All right. So for my next pick, trying to stick to a theme here. Let me go with screw it. Frank Castle, the Punisher.
The only Punisher.
Yeah, well,
We don't talk about what's his name.
That's the one with the skull logo, not the weird demon logo.
Frank
The guy with the guns, not the knives.
There you go.
By Jeffrey. All right, next up is Eric.
I'm going to go with my last writer spot. I didn't wait for the cue.
Dun dun.
I'm going to go with my last writer spot. I'm going to go with Donny Cates.
Nice one. Very nice.
Oh, good.
Very nice.
He fell off the block. What's he doing now?
I think didn't he get into a car accident, or is that?
I think that was Zdarsky who got into the car accident.
No,
Donny
not
Cates.
Zdarsky.
Donny Cates. Don't trust Remso's news ever.
No, it was Donny Cates. You posted something on the fan zone about it.
Yeah.
All right, back to the revolving door.
I want Berserker. Keanu Reeves.
Very interesting. Just to be clear, you don't necessarily get Keanu Reeves with.
I know. I just want Berserker. One of my favorite new characters from like recent memory.
Dude, I had been reading Berserker on Hoopla for free all this time, and then I was in the store, and I guess there's a new Berserker series that just came out.
Well, they're continuing it because originally it was like over. Now they're like, let's make more money.
Well, this is a new number one, so they started it with like it's like Berserker with some subtitle, and I was like, oh, I'll just pick it up. You know, I'll buy the book.
I'm still waiting for that freaking Netflix series to come.
It's $10 book. It's $10. It's $9.99. I didn't buy it. Like, well, for if I have a free option, I'm not spending $9.99. No offense, it's a good book, but $9.99. I mean, I spent $40 on ISOM, you know, but ISOM ain't funded by fucking, you know, what's his name?
Communism.
No. ISOM is not funded by communism. That's true. As far as I know, this is a commercial for ISOM. Go check out ISOM #2. It's a great book. Costs $40. It's funded by capitalism, not a communism, and that's why we love it. It's
Hell yeah!
But we love it. Go check it out. Moving on to me. Dun, 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 dun. All right, I only have creators to pick now since I used all my characters on the Fantastic Four that have no villains at all. So we're definitely gonna have to flesh this out. I say we say it right now. We each get a dozen more characters that we do offline draft in our email. Do you guys agree with this? That we can use as villains, as build out teams, side characters? Because if we're going to flesh this stuff out, I think we're going to more at our disposal. Everyone agree?
Yeah,
sure.
Over the course of we just do one same order. We'll just send names, and I'll keep filling it out. Anyway, this is all a way for me to come back to. I've been thinking about this a lot, and like we said, Remso even said it himself. I don't know if it was before the show or in the beginning of the show. It'll make money, won't it? I think it will. I'm going to draft Tom motherfucking King. I don't know what I'm going to put him on. Probably not with Batman. Definitely not with Batman.
That's like the one rule from like episode 0 of the show.
He doesn't. We do talk about Tom King now.
Talk about him a lot.
He's not allowed to write Batman. That's a rule I've decided on. He's probably not allowed to write any character I've drafted. He's going to get someone weird. So we're going to see what happens to Tom King. But I think he's worth having in my company. You know, he brings numbers. Can't deny it. You can't deny it. So I'm a businessman first and foremost, you know. Look, if I can work with Eric Larson, I can work with Tom King. I actually think that's a fact. And we're just going to be a really inter-office meeting. The ex-CIA guy, fucking Eric Larson in there, we're fucking jabbing.
Eric won't even walk into the office
all the
unless you
children
get
of the
axed.
office. All right, who's next?
So,
one? No,
oh yeah, you got to take another.
Yeah, I get one more artist or writer. Well, this is someone that's come up. I think I need to take this person. I think I need to draft Garth Ennis so that Remso can't put him on the boys.
I wasn't even thinking of him.
Garth Ennis. All right, that is.
I always get like Garth Ennis and Warren Ellis and like the other guy. I always get them all mixed up.
They kind of all are the same guy, and I have them all on my roster. So I have a bunch. I think all my. I have Brits and Eric Larson. I think everyone's British. Frank Miller's not British, is he? Don't let him be British.
No.
Okay. No, I find out everyone's British like after the fact, so I don't know. I don't know who to trust anymore.
In my column,
yeah.
In my column, you just need to add Homelander.
All right, Homelander in your column. All right, and then you have 3 more picks, starting with one right.
Oh, and you need to add Berserker.
Damn.
So technically, I have 2 more picks.
Yeah, what you said. Okay, go for it.
I want Lilith, the mother of demons from Ghost Rider.
Now, this is an interesting one, too, because I think...
That's biblical, baby.
Lilith is a biblical character. I'm pretty sure you could public domain that one if you want. I'm just saying.
Okay. I'll say myself. Okay, I want Gambit. Give me Gambit.
Gambit.
There you go.
Seems like you really wanted Lilith, though. I mean, I don't want to.
I feel like I'm at the Special Olympics. I'm trying to help a kid across the line here. I'm just like, I'm trying to.
I'm not gonna have my entire team disqualified or something like the X-Men draft.
No, you're not. Nobody's disqualifying anybody.
That's what we said last time.
I'm helping you get more characters here, right? We're all trying to help. We're all trying to help little Remso make it across the finish line. All right.
I go like a comic book.
Matt Kent is like, you drafted me first? What the fuck is wrong with you? All right, moving on.
So I think we're kind of thinking of the same lines here, Mark. I am going to take Jesse Custer, the preacher.
Oh, interesting. All right. Well, I guess he's not going to write my book. I mean, he's not going to be written by Garth Ennis.
He's not going to be in your book.
But characters. Everybody's tradable. Let's keep that in mind. Imagine being a writer and like traded for a character or something. You're like, you traded me for an inanimate object. Like you traded me for IP. The fuck? Serious? All right, moving back. Jeffrey, it is time for your final 2 picks. How are you going to round this
All
out?
right.
Hopefully with a bang. Hopefully robbing me of somebody.
All right. I'm going with 2 characters left. I'm going with Daredevil.
Oh, breaking great.
Very nice.
Okay. And
My last pick is Oroko Saki, the Shredder.
oh man, that's beautiful.
Respect.
That is sick. Hey, I like that. All right. Oroku Saki. Oh damn, I can't draft another character. We can later, so whatever.
Yep.
Oh, I will get the first pick in that draft, right?
That is correct.
Yeah.
Okay. In fact, since that's the case, after my last pick, I'm going to announce my other pick, if that's okay with you guys.
Who is it?
We can go another round. 25 is a much better number than 24.
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, at that point, it's like, why don't we just keep going forever? I mean, it's up to you guys. I have time. We can add more rounds now if you guys want. It's up to you. It'll be all characters from after that point. But
That'll go by fast, though. We'll make that like a speed round.
I mean, do you want to keep going?
Yeah, we can do one more round. After that, it's starting to get
I don't like
to
even
be my bedtime.
It's the thing. That's what. That's
Yeah, once the glass of whiskey is empty, it's time to.
All right, well, I'm just going to put the rounds there, and we can draft that stuff later offline. I'll just tell you my pick when it's time, just for fun. All right. So anyway, back to Eric for your last pick.
All right. I took Neil Gaiman very early on. I'm going to take Dream of the Endless. This pick.
They had no more characters to draft. All right. Well,
I had one.
There goes that pick. I mean, I had none. I had no more.
Oh.
So you've got Blade. Because I realized something was wrong. You've got Blade, who is Eric's character. You got him in my column, and you just added Sandman to
I know. Sandman. I just disaster.
Blade's also in my column.
Yeah. So you got
I just
fine.
I just like to point out I have the better Sandman.
I'm so confused. So
I also have Blade. So I'm done. You can put Blade. Yeah.
What? I'm so confused.
So I'm going to have 2 characters left because I had 2 on my list. So
okay. So you shouldn't have had. Okay. So you have 2 more characters here. So I'm just going to do this. So here.
Well, hold on.
Wait, so why? Okay. So you have a pick now.
Yeah.
No, but
this is the last round. There's only one more pick for you guys.
Wrong. Then Remso's missing. We're missing somebody for you.
I'm missing 2 characters.
This has got to be great audio. It's probably better video, slightly better video, because you can at least see us falling apart at the seams.
Well,
so
Mark, you made a natural mistake, Mark. You assumed that obviously, since Remso used his first character pick for Deacon Frost, he must have also had Blade.
Yeah, exactly. Surely that was part of the plan. So we just got to figure out what character I'm missing from Remso. So I'm pretty
Dr.
sure
Doom.
that's.
So I got
Dr. Doom.
Yeah,
it's Dr. Doom.
Yeah, Dr. Doom.
Boom. All right. So now you have one more pick left.
Right.
Black Adam.
Black Adam, hot off the heels of the Rock's performance. Remso, why did you want to make sure Black Adam made it to your roster?
I needed more villains. I could do a lot with him. I want to pair him with some of these heroes to see what awesome fights and shit we can get out of him.
But he's a hero now.
Not anymore.
Not in Remso's world.
Not anymore.
Right, well, it seems that I get one more pick, and I got to think about this one a little bit. It has to be an artist. I was trying to see if there's any. Yeah, none of my writers are also artists, even though some of my artists are also writers. So I have a lot of versatility, so that's nice. A lot of my artists can also write their own book. I'm going to draft a guy who I've been a fan of since the 90s. I actually first collected the art that he did on the Impulse series going back to the early 90s. I'm still a big fan of this guy. His name is Humberto Ramos. He is my last artist pick.
Nice.
Humberto Ramos. Boom. Boom. Bam! And thus ends the very first ever SPC Comics Draft. How you guys feeling? Should I recap the teams very quickly now that we've got it all set?
Yeah.
For the listeners.
I'm not going to recap them. We're going to each recap our own teams, so I don't have to say all this. But I'm going to start by recapping mine. I have my writers, Jeff Johns, Alan Moore, Mark Waid, Warren Ellis, Tom motherfucking King, and Garth Ennis. my artists, a couple of which can write. In fact, 3 of them at least can write. 2 of them being Frank Miller, Eric Larson, Jason Fabach, Daniel Warren Johnson could also write a book if I so let him. Gary Frank, Humberto Ramos. Then my characters, which there will be more of after this draft: Batman, the Hulk, Swamp Thing, Invincible, Hellboy, Reed Richards, the Invisible Woman, The Thing, the Human Torch, Johnny Storm, the Flash, Barry Allen, Deadpool, and Nick Fury, David Hasselhoff version. Remso, tell us about it.
Over at Revolving Door Comics, we got the writing stable. Matt Kintz, Chip Zdarsky, Matt Fraction, Ed Brubaker, Robert Kirkman, and Al Ewing. Over in the Artist Den, we've got Matt Battaglia, Rob Liefeld, Steve Epting, Dale Eaglesham, Brian Hitch, and Javier Saltares. And then for characters, Deacon Frost, John Constantine, Savage Dragon, Doctor Strange, Bloodshot, Ghost Rider, Danny Ketch, the Scarlet Witch, Homelander, Berserker, Gambit, Doctor Doom, and Black Adam.
Very good. Eric, what you got?
I don't know how I can follow that sizzle reel, but I'm going to try.
Audible chocolate.
What the hell? Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, I'm missing something on my characters. My writers: Chris Claremont, James Tinian, Neil Gaiman, Jeff Lemire, Josh Williamson, and Donnie Cates. On artists, got Bill Sienkiewicz, Jim Lee, Joe Quesada, Greg Capullo, Jim Starlin, and Daryl Banks. Characters, we've got Spider-Man, Wolverine, Erica Slaughter, Sandman, Green Lantern, Spawn, Wonder Woman, Moon Knight, Jean Grey, Venom, and Blade. There's someone else. It's not it.
You also have Morpheus.
Sandman. I said Sandman.
Yeah.
All right, and let's wrap this puppy
Oh,
up.
Jesse Custer's missing.
Oh, Jesse Custer. Oh, hold on, let me get it and add it.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Jesse Custer. Here we go.
You're also missing.
I'm missing
the Shredder on mine.
Shredder,
Yeah, the Shredder.
Now yours should be good.
All right. So my writers are as follows: Kurt Busiek, Sam Keith, Mike Mignola, Brian Michael Bendis, Grant Morrison, and Matt Wagner. My artists are the one and only Alex Ross, Chris Batchlow, Todd McFarlane, John Romita Jr., and Ashley Wood. And Joe Madeira. Wait, 1, 2, 3. Okay, yeah, that was 6. All right, now my characters are Superman, Clark Kent, The Question, Darkhawk, The Joker, Dr. Fate, Hawkman, Wesley Dodds, The Sandman, Hunter Rose, Grendel, Magneto, The Punisher, Frank Castle, and Daredevil and Arukusaki, The Shredder.
Very good, gentlemen.
Dig it.
That sort of completes the first iteration of the SPC Comics Draft. What are you guys thinking? Are you feeling good about your teams? Is there any regrets? Any things you wish you did different? I have a few.
Deacon Frost.
Deacon Frost. I think that's a pretty fair regret. You probably could have got him at the end of the supplemental draft that we'll do afterwards.
I'll make it up though. Or I lack in that.
I'm happy with my early picks. I think I'm pretty good with those.
Yeah, I missed out on a couple writers that I was eyeing, but overall, I'm pretty satisfied.
A lot of big names on
the
board still, or off the board, whichever one it is. But we can complete
Jeff
those.
Loeb. I'm surprised nobody recruited Loeb.
Do you guys want to know who my first draft pick and my characters is going to be?
Yeah, spoiler alert. Let's go.
May as well just put him in there now, right? Because I get him. Casey Jones. Bam.
Take him.
Casey Jones.
Yeah.
I'm picking him. No one seems impressed. All right, I thought I had a really cool pick there. Get ready for Tom King's Casey Jones, everybody. It's coming to a comic company near you. Gentlemen, it's been fun.
He's gay and suicidal.
This has been fun, but the fun has only begun because in maybe 6 weeks or so, I would say, we're going to come back. We're going to reconvene. We're going to present to you the comic companies that we have formed out of this set of artists and writers and characters that we have drafted, including some supplemental characters that we will not bore you with another hour of drafting on a podcast. We will just do that on our own time and report back on the next podcast. So that being said, thank you all for joining me on the very first SPC Comics Draft. I had a blast. Again, always happy to do the nerdiest thing possible, and I think we've certainly done that today. If anybody has done anything nerdier than this today, I'd be impressed. I'd love to hear about it. You can let us know by sending us a tweet at Second Print Comics. I think that's the main way to communicate with us if you're not on the Patreon. That being said, Remso, you want to sign us off here? What I miss? I'm exhausted from this thing.
Nothing, Mark. As always, it's short, it's sweet, it's simple. Everyone say it with me. It's read comics.
Change the world.
Good night, America.
Body.